Oh, by the way, we're not talking about that.
I hit record.
Oh. Hi, everyone.
Kim was talking business and she started laughing, so
back.
I just immediately hit the record button.
I'm not as full of laughter. The music I was listening to was like super worshipful.
Name the song. Sharing the laughter and love.
What is that?
You don't know
song?
that? It's what is that? Oh man, that's gonna drive me crazy.
Sharing the laughter and love. That sounds like a sitcom theme song.
It is.
Oh, it is?
You wouldn't know the song. I meant
Growing
Pains.
Oh, what's interesting and is that like a podcast that I was listening to yesterday?
What about Growing Pains?
Talking about Growing Pains.
85 to 92, man.
What's his name? Alan
Thick.
Alan Thick?
Alan
Is
Thick.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he's part of a lot of conversations.
Anyway.
I was listening to, I believe.
Charity Gale.
Charity
Church
Gale.
Mouse. Do you know Charity Church Mouse?
No.
Oh, you don't? That's
Maybe.
That's the songbook, Salty Songbook.
No, so I didn't have that. Like that was
you're
not.
missing out, Kim.
I didn't like grow up with that.
You missing
I grew up with like.
Kim.
When I think about you, it makes me wanna stop. You know that?
I found a guy the other day. He does dramatic readings of songs.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's so good at it too. Did I send you that?
Yeah, you sent me
the All-Star one. Or,
no, you sent me the Charles Barkley. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
There's so many times with songs that I'm like, I wonder if there should be like a monologue.
Deep.
They could.
I didn't realize how deep pop songs go. Holy cow.
Well, like Mbop. Have you ever listened to the lyrics?
He has one of it, and
song?
you're like, what in the world?
know,
That's
you're
not
like,
okay.
This is sad.
You guys, pause this episode, go and listen to Mbop, and listen to the lyrics, and you will be
It almost goes
blown.
like so fast though. Like you have to read it. Sometimes like when I'm listening to songs on Spotify, then I'll like read the lyrics
Go
as
back.
I'm listening to
100%.
it.
I do that all the time, especially with worship music.
And yeah, and like the Mbop song, you gotta, because like it's so uppity and you're like woohoo,
And then all of a sudden you start singing the words and you go,
like,
oh, whoa, that's heavy.
wow.
All right,
I miss my friends.
Yeah,
after that.
yeah.
It's all about friends if you don't know.
So my goal is to keep you on track today. So I'm gonna try as hard as I can.
I'm pretty. I almost said
trashy.
I'm pretty on track today. Last week, I'm not pretty trashy. I actually feel very much like I'm out of a like JCPenney's 90s like mom
Because the
catalog,
flannel and
the
stuff like
flannel
that.
and the boots. Like
Yep.
all I need is like to blast some Amy Grant or like,
oh my word,
baby.
Good grief. Hey, if this is your first episode, you listen to Grease and Grace. My name is Jordan. Across the table from me, as always,
Kim!
is Miss Kim, Chef Kim, as she's known in the work world, Miss Kim in the church world.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because I don't know anybody at church that calls you Kim. It's always Miss Kim.
It is Miss Kim, which is weird because now kids like still call me that, and I'm like, you can just call me Kim.
It's crazy.
They call me that. Yesterday, no, yeah, I was wearing. I worked from like 8 o'clock to like.
Oh yeah.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I came in. We both, if you don't know, Jordan and I both help with 4th and 5th grade Wednesday night church with the kids. And one of the girls looks at me and she goes, Miss Kim, why are you wearing lipstick?
Why you look like that?
And I was like, because I worked. And she was like, don't you cook? And I was like, I look nice still.
She's like, you look trashy. Like, as you cook? Like, how's that
No,
work?
she just couldn't understand like that I have a life outside of being a 4th and 5th
It's like seeing your teacher out in the public.
I
out in
know.
the
And
real
she
world.
was like,
what is
she
this?
just kept staring at me. And I was
That's
like,
so funny.
I just didn't change my clothes.
So
Don't
funny.
Stop it. Leave me alone.
All right, so as you guys know, every week we take on a new topic. We dive into the greasy side of things, and we dive into the graceful side of those things.
Are we gonna have any graceful sides?
I don't
of
know,
things?
but I got something for this, so it's so good. All right, sometimes it's current events. We try to stay with the calendar, as you have seen lately, so this has been good. So pop culture, we've tackled that. We've tackled things that we just want to discuss. And so we give our unique blend of humor and insight on a topic. And your responsibility is just to sit back, relax, and, take this delightful mix of laughter and love.
Sharing
the laughter and love.
Don't know the song.
Growing Pains theme song, man. I'll tell you what.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to like watch the intro to that.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Did you watch Growing Pains?
100%.
I don't think I did.
Absolutely. TGIF, man. Thank God it's Friday.
That was on what was that? ABC Family.
There was when there was only 3 channels.
What?
There was only 3 channels. Back in my day, we had 2, 4, 6, and 8. And we had a fuzzy channel, but you weren't allowed to watch that.
What was TGIF on?
ABC, and I think it was Family Matters. Actually, I don't think Growing Pains was on TGIF, but anyway, you're running today.
Anyways.
You are going off on the tracks. You almost got me there too. Anyway, today's topic is Kim.
Halloween.
Oh, happy Halloween.
This is Halloween. That's such a weird movie.
Is that Jack?
Jack Sparrington? Jack Sparrow? What's his name?
It's not Jack Sparrow.
Skellington.
Jack Skellington, because Jack Sparrow would be the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, this is Jack Skellington.
Jack Skellington.
Have you ever watched that movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Do you know how ahead of the times that movie was? It's crazy. If you guys don't know what we're talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is a like a cartoon animation type of movie.
Stop motion, which is impressive.
Yeah.
But no, ahead of its time. What are you talking about?
Stop motion was crazy.
The weirdest movie
it is
ever.
I love it.
A lot of people like it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like, I wouldn't say. Well, I probably jumped the gun on that. I don't love it. I love the concept of the creativity behind it. So I'm not like a Nightmare Before Halloween fan. Like, I wouldn't say like, oh, this movie's the best. No, I don't say it, because there's some people out there be like, you're celebrating Halloween. I didn't say that. I like the creative concept behind the movie. And
how they do it.
And the creativity that it took to get there.
Yeah, because I'm not a Tim Burton fan.
No.
Like, at all.
Dude is dark.
Well, not even that. Just like, I don't like his like artistic, like, I don't like his style.
He messed up Alice in Wonderland in a major way. He did. Didn't he do the one with
Johnny Depp? But I never watched Alice in Wonderland. My mom didn't like it, so we were not allowed to watch it.
Isn't it funny how that works?
I've never seen it. But Tim Burton, none of his stuff I'm really a huge fan of. Maybe James and the Giant Peach, but that's like, that's a boring movie. But one time I was watching it with...
What about Dumbo?
My husband. That's
Tim Burton.
That's Tim Burton?
Beetlejuice.
Dumbo is...
Alice in Wonderland.
No, Dumbo is under fire right now.
Fire?
Yeah.
What?
There's some super racist themes in that.
Is there really?
Oh,
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
He did Big Fish, which is a fantastic movie for those of you.
Don't know what that
is. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the remix. He also had his hand in Batman.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Anyway.
Yeah. But anyways, I like to watch like the stop motion because it just floors me.
Yeah.
What he can do with stop motion. Like, all of it is handmade. That's crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Like some other stop motion movies would be like Caroline. That was an old one. Coraline. Sorry, my fault.
When we said we were talking about Halloween, we're actually talking about
stop motion movies. You're welcome.
Movie production and Tim Burton.
I'm trying to think of like the most like famous ones. Probably the Halloween one would be the most famous one.
That one has like the biggest cult following.
Yeah.
But I think he himself has like his own following.
Yeah, like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Celebrity.
Yeah, that's he would have.
That reminds me. Speaking of dark.
My
mom called me and was like, Kim, you know what type of celebrity you guys didn't mention? And I was like, I don't know. And she said, serial killers. And I was like,
oh, that's big right now.
So true.
Yeah.
I know. We'll have to talk about that on a pod. Actually, I'm going to schedule that because I meant to put that in. So
we're going to talk about serial killers?
Let's talk about the definition of Halloween.
No. All right, here we go. I got it. Halloween. All right, less commonly known as All Halloween or All Hallows Eve or All Saints Eve, is a celebration observed in many countries on October 31st. And by the way, after October 31st is over, we go to November 1st, and that is the official start of Christmas. For me, at least.
What?
I get so excited. I love Christmas.
I love Christmas, but you got to take time to be thankful.
Well, I'm thankful for Christmas.
Give thanks with a grateful heart.
Hello, 90s worship music. That might even be the 80s. Anyway, it is at the beginning of the observance of All Hallowed Tide, the time in the liturgical year dedicated to the remembering of the dead, including saints, hallows, martyrs, and the faithfully departed. In popular culture, the day has become a celebration of horror, being associated with the macabre and supernatural. Dun, dun, dun. Such as
Isn't it macabre? Macabre?
Is it
macabre? Macabre.
Macabre.
Yeah, macabre.
Macabre.
Yeah.
Do you know what macabre is?
No.
Having the quality of having a grim or ghastly atmosphere. It works to emphasize the details and symbols of death. The term also refers to works particularly gruesome in nature.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's something.
So, full transparency, just to throw that out there, we do not celebrate Halloween in my house. We celebrate Reformation Day. Just FYI.
We're a house divided.
For those of you that don't know what Reformation Day is, let me just run this by you because this is the holiday that runs parallel to it. So we're not talking about Reformation Day, we're talking about Halloween, but this is worth our 2 cents. Reformation Day is a Protestant Christian religious holiday celebrated on October 31st, okay, same day, in remembrance of the onset of the Reformation, and that was where Martin Luther nailed his 95 Thesis on the door of the All Saints Church in Wittenberg.
So how do you celebrate that?
Oh, we just I don't know, you just
put notes on church doors.
It's yeah. It was funny because Bethany and I were talking, and she's like, "We should nail a piece of paper to our door." And I was like, "We're not the All Saints Church in Wittenberg. That's not good."
Just sticky note it. Sticky note it.
I don't think it's a celebration. It's more just a remembrance. So the Reformation Day is big on the 5 solas. And again, we're not talking about that. If you want to, you can go look into it. But for believers in Jesus, it's very big because it started the trajectory of the church. Regardless, back to Halloween.
So Halloween.
You're a church. You're a house divided.
We're a house divided. So, and I lean. Okay, so growing up, I think I only participated in maybe 3 Halloweens.
Okay.
So
really,
yes, because my mom was like, "I'm not going to dress my children up to go and beg for food on multiple people."
So your mom's not a Halloween fan. So your mom doesn't celebrate Halloween.
No, we didn't really ever celebrate Halloween.
But your dad, on the other hand, did.
So my dad and mom got married, and we went out for Halloween once, and that time I peed myself.
Oh my goodness!
I was a witch, and I had to go to the bathroom.
That's what you get for being a witch.
Bad. I had to go to the bathroom so
trashy witch.
Bad, and I stood up and I peed myself.
Oh,
I know,
man, that's the worst.
But then, so maybe that was. Oh, and then we went out one other time with my grandparents, but they made us hand out apples first.
There's always one.
And
here's a pear.
We only went out for a second, and then we went out for pizza.
Just went right back.
So, yeah. So we never celebrated Halloween. My mom was always like, "I'm not going to send you guys begging for food.
Yeah.
If y'all want candy, then we'll just go to the store and buy the candy. This is stupid."
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But, she was a single mom. She was like, "I'm tired. Yeah. I ain't got time. I'm not driving you around." And so...
She's like, "We're doing what tonight?" I don't think so.
So then we lived in a house that, nobody came to.
Okay.
Because we're on the wrong side of the tracks.
Oh.
I know. And so...
that's a real thing, by the way, for those of you who are listening. My hometown where I grew up, it was legitimately if you lived on the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah, but it's a nice, I live in the same house and there's nice neighbors around. I don't know. Nobody comes trick or treating over there.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
really even
now nobody does. It's dead silent.
Is your light on?
Yeah, nobody comes.
All right.
So I don't even buy candy anymore.
You are kind of on the outskirts of town. Yeah.
So now Josh's family, they did Halloween every single year.
Yeah.
And so Josh, when we had kids, he was like, "Well, I'm going to take him trick or treating." And I was like, "Well, I'm not." And he was like, "Well, then this is going to be our thing."
I'll see you later.
So
he does it.
Takes some, but the past couple of years, it's turned from just celebration of Halloween into more of a social thing where last year I was gone and Josh was like, "So many people asked me where you were."
Really?
Yeah. As he was just walking, he was in your neighborhood and he was like, so many people were like, "Where's
yeah,
Ted?"
I did remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now it's kind of turned into a social, hey, chit chat.
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I told him I was going to go this year. And I really do enjoy making costumes, but like the boys buy costumes and I'm like, like get creative with costumes.
I was a crayon one year.
Like a crayon?
Yeah, legitimately like wrapped in fabric. That was a purple crayon.
Why purple?
All of it fell off.
Was it like a group thing?
Me and my sister. Yeah, we were crayons.
That's not a group thing. That's
if you wonder how poor we were, like, just look at it. It was like a sheet of fabric. We wrapped it around our body. We cut out the letters. We, like hot glued them on. Had like little hats that were like pointed or whatever. I got a picture of it somewhere.
That's sweet.
I didn't. Do not. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend.
I did not start making costumes until I was an adult.
The making costumes has really gone out the window because like people don't do it a whole lot anymore.
But it's so fun.
It is. I don't disagree with you at all.
I'm gonna make my costume this year.
Oh, because we do costume night.
Because we're doing costume night here.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I'm gonna be making a costume for that. But like I've been an avocado when I was pregnant.
Oh my! I remember that.
I had a tan shirt.
Yeah.
And then I put my belly through the hole of the avocado. What are some? Did your family as a kid?
Yeah, so we should probably like because people are probably listening and going like, wait, if you don't celebrate Halloween, like, what does that look like? So, okay, first of all, we don't shut up our house, right? Like we're not those people. Just because I don't observe Halloween and I celebrate Reformation Day does not mean that like I'm anti-community.
Yeah.
And I'm like against everything.
Don't come over.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, 2 years ago, our girls went from trick-or-treating to wanting to pass out candy. So like I pull the truck in the driveway, we pull the tail bed down, they sit on the back of the tail bed and they just like pass out candy.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I think it was pouring down rain though.
Probably.
Oh, it was horrible.
We have the worst weather for Halloween every single year.
If you are not in the Midwest and you trick or treat, like let's say West Coast, bro.
If you have warm weather,
you're
and dry weather,
we used to have
living in luxury.
Yeah, we used to have to put like coats on. You didn't even need to wear a costume because like you just put like a bunch of like stuff over
So last year, we're never gonna actually get to the Grease.
No, probably not.
Last year for Halloween, it snowed on Halloween.
100%.
Got dumped on.
2 years ago, then it rained. I remember that.
Yeah. So got dumped on last year with snow.
Yep.
Melted. Then we didn't get snow until February.
100%. It was like the only day that it snowed. And it's like, hey.
And it's like the day that is Halloween.
And that's probably why you shouldn't celebrate Halloween.
Okay. So
anyway, so what do I do? So what do we do? Well, first of all, working for the police department, I'm normally working it. So it's really funny because I'm in uniform and people are always like, "You're a cop for Halloween." Yeah, that's funny. Okay, that was funny the first year. Now it's not, but you're gonna get it. So I always walk around, my neighborhood, and make sure like everything's good. So that's the first way. Second way is we do pass out candy. We're not those people that like pass out like apples. Like we're not.
We were at one point.
I would laugh if like they cut them in half and like you get half an apple.
I was so embarrassed.
Did your parents ever it's like go to the hospital and put an X-ray it to make sure that there was no razor blades in it?
No, my mom was like, "Listen, if you're getting candy, then
that was always like a big thing."
No, I think that was like
there should be no razor blades. And I'm like, first of all, who's stuffing razor blades in
I know
candy?
But it's a thing. And I'm like, y'all are crazy.
Or you're trick-or-treating in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, maybe that's why nobody came. The wrong side of the tracks, people like, they put razor blades in theirs. I promise, if I am passing out candy, I just want to see your cute costume.
So anyway, all that to say, like, I don't have any problem with people, like, dressing up like teddy bears and stuff like that and going around and like getting candy from people, like whatever, that's fine. It's there are like I do not like, here's the Grease, right? I do not like the celebration of evil. That's super hard for me. Like I am a very strong proponent what? I don't know. Whatever person is.
Proponent.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm a very strong proponent that you shouldn't watch horror movies. If you're a believer. Like, I just don't think you should. I don't know why you would invoke fear. No.
I don't even like looking at ads. Like,
You also don't like dead things, as we
I
learned
don't like
last
dead
week.
things. But, like, I don't understand the celebration of Satan and the devil and all things from... I don't want to invite that into my home.
I don't think people really have, like, a good understanding of that. Like, so... There's probably people who are listening and going like, well, you don't understand the secular side of things. No. I understand. So I have a friend of mine who loves horror and like things like that. And I just look at him and I'm like, I just don't think that's smart. I just don't like you're opening doors that you probably shouldn't open. Just my personal 2 cents.
Yeah. I've never liked it. I don't like being scared.
Yeah.
And then on the other side,
that's not a good emotion, right?
Yeah, it's not enjoyable. I don't find enjoyment out of it. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. I don't like haunted houses.
Nope.
I don't.
I haven't been to a haunted house in years.
Maybe when I was in my very early 20s, like maybe 20. You know the last time I went.
Do you think that's because you're older? Like, I don't know. As you're talking and we're dialoguing, I'm thinking to myself, like, when you're young, you're so naive. So like you go into that stuff thinking like, oh, it's not a big deal. But then once you get older and you like start experiencing loss and death and tragedy and these horrible situations that like we see in our everyday life, I just don't think they're funny or like should be entertained.
It's so, okay. This is prefaced by my mom, like almost sharing her fear with me.
Or like passing that on a little bit.
Yes, because when she was a teenager, she went through a haunted house and somebody grabbed her and would not let her go. Like took her to a different room. What? And like, yeah. So she was like, I was so scared, Kim. I didn't know where my friends went. And I was like, so what happened? And she's like, eventually they let me go.
What?
But like they were holding on to her.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get away. And so she constantly, all throughout my childhood, was like, those are stupid. It's stupid for you to go.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I've always thought of haunted houses as like the perfect the perfect way for somebody to get away with doing horrible things.
Yeah.
And there are people who do horrible things. There's a haunted house in quotations in like Tennessee or something. I don't remember the name of it.
Is it one of the extreme ones that like they go to like crazy?
They sign a waiver and like these people are legitimately tortured. You are I do not care what you react to this. You are an idiot. If you want to go to that place and be tortured, you are straight up an idiot. Ask me in real life and I'll tell you, you are dumb.
Kim loves to be really soft about things and not tell us how she feels about stuff.
You know what? I was just talking about the fruits of the spirit, and I was like, gentleness is definitely not one.
I didn't get that memo. I did not get that memo.
I don't have the gentleness.
That's so funny.
But like, why are you willingly signing up?
100% get it.
To do this? It's not a haunted house. Like when people are they like rip toenails and stuff like out of their hands. Way. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny you brought it up because I was going to say there are like these extreme like people, and I'm like that's not like
y'all need Jesus.
100%. Come find me. I'll talk to you about him. Like it's crazy, and I think that's the problem is like. So we talk to like students, young people, even adults, and a lot of times people want to know like how far up to the line they can go. And I'm like, hey, that's not the conversation. The conversation is how far away from the line we can go. Yeah. And I feel like Halloween is one of those places where it's like we're gonna play around with something for a little bit, but we don't really want to get burned. But you don't know you're getting burned until you get burned. So like that's the hard part is like people kind of walk down this path and they're like, it's not a big deal. It's just this little bit of thing. And I'm like, you're kind of on a slippery slope, buddy.
Yeah.
What other greases? What do you got?
I'm trying to like think of greases that I have with it. I don't enjoy the movies, like any kind of the Halloween movies.
Right.
Is there any like cutesy Halloween?
It's so
movies?
funny you bring that up. So, every other weekend I run like on like I do like a long run before.
He's not
church.
A runner though, guys.
I'm not. Doc on it. So as I run like 10 miles, whatever the case is. So it's so funny you brought that up because like the Freddy and Jason movies, how Michael Myers or whatever. So I'm running in this neighborhood and it's dark. I mean, it's like 5:00 in the morning. And the person that lives in the neighborhood, first of all, it's like this little subdivision. It's totally dark. They had Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers standing next to each other, actual mannequins, standing there with like this light behind them. I almost drop kicked.
You pooped your pants. We have there's a house that's close to us, and when I take the dogs on walks, they also have a Freddy Krueger. I don't know the other person. Maybe it's like the guy with the nails in his face.
Leatherface, yeah, or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
Hellraiser, the guy with the
he's got like the
needles or whatnot.
I don't know what it's about, but they have one of those, and then they have the kid from It. And then they have the little mannequin from Saw.
Brother,
I know. So I walk my dogs, and every time we pass the little Saw doll, because the doll is like sitting on a bike in like their yard, my puppy is like,
you just freak out.
Who dat? Like
she don't like it.
She just like stares at it, and I'm like, come on, Basil, come on. She does not move. Like she's like, we're in a stare down right now.
But that's so weird, right? Like, so I hope my neighbors don't listen to this, but if you do, like. They have like this casket that they brought out, and it's like, and I just look at it, I'm like, why? Like, we don't need caskets on the yard.
Yeah,
like that's not okay.
Can you get like bonus points if you use it when you die?
They put out their Halloween decorations. You're going to get a kick out of this. I immediately went to the Christmas decorations. Like I am in a full-blown war against my neighbors.
Do you have Christmas decorations out?
100%.
In your yard?
I got Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. Don't even. You going to bring out Halloween.
That's
I was up on my roof the other day, and one of our neighbors drove by, which you know. Yeah. They're like, tell me you're decorating for Christmas right now. I was like, 100%. Yes.
I mean, it is nice time to do it.
I just looked at the neighbors and they were decorating for Halloween, and I'm like, okay, I got this. The blood of Jesus.
Oh, you want to talk about blood? I'll give you the blood of Jesus. He's going to cover your yard.
I got nativity. I got Christmas lights. I'll even put speakers outside and blare me some music. Like, you don't even know.
Yeah, I don't enjoy this. Like, I don't like the spookiness. So here's my thing. So with haunted houses, I don't like haunted houses.
Yeah.
And I don't
know a whole lot of them around here. I'm sure there are. I think there's a couple up in South Bend.
There's a few in Michigan.
Yeah.
There's a lot in like Ohio, Cedar Point. They do like a whole Halloween thing, which is fine, cool, whatever. But I don't like the haunted houses. But like I want to go to just appreciate like the time that kind of like the Tim Burton movie. I don't enjoy
the creativity behind it.
Yeah, like there's one guy who his makeup because before I got rid of my TikTok would like during Halloween would like show me
just blow up.
Yeah. And there was one guy, I think his name was like Vax or something like that. And the manipulation he can do with his voice is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And his makeup is super cool. And like they do this. They put hours.
Well, it's like the guy that does the dramatic readings that I sent you. Like he's the same way. He always has like a different character or whatever the case is.
But like he's not gonna like jump out at you, you know what I mean, and like try and grab you. Like don't jump out at me. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I just want to like, can I touch your face? The end. Like I don't want you to touch me, but can I just like, I want to see the like fake like prosthetic things because it's cool. Like I understand there's art that goes behind it. Just let me appreciate the art, baby.
I wonder if that's what Walt Disney had in mind. Like he was like, hey, Halloween's cool, but it's crooked. So like, let's straighten this out and like, you can come down here.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
What are you talking about?
Well, like for example, like costumes and all those things, like in this imaginary world, and like he just took like that which was totally crooked and was like, we could do this all year round, but let's not have like the scary side of things. Maybe not. Oh man, Kim is grinding the gears over there.
I don't know.
Because okay, well, this is why I said that. I love the creativity that flows through my neighborhood in Halloween. This is probably a graceful thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like I see little kids and I see like how they their parents have constructed like these intricate costumes and stuff like that. And I look at that and I'm like, that's neat.
You put time in.
Yeah, that's really, really neat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is. And then you got the kid behind him that's like got a knife in his hand or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Halloween is maybe migrating away from like that horror playful side of things into the playful side of things.
I think because there's been such a chunk of time that it has been horror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it has been nothing but that. And I think it started probably in the 80s.
Yeah.
like late 80s, because they had like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, like all of these characters came out. So now we're into this like whole new realm of that, I guess.
Well, you had like Disney movies, you had like the princesses and stuff like that, but now we have all these other worlds. You have Marvel, DC.
Yeah.
Like you can run that list.
Yes. But like before, for Halloween, like it was either you're a witch, a ghost.
Right.
Or I don't know, like it wasn't, there was super limited costumes. So then when Freddy Krueger and Jason and Hellraiser and all of these guys became popular, the kids who started out just being, the cowboys and the police officers and the firemen, for Halloween, they grew up and they were like, oh, this is really cool. I like this. And so then it turned into all of this horror and gore, and it's been this whole thing. And I think now we who have been raised in that are like, it's weird to have your child being dressed up as Chucky.
Yeah, that's true. So like I just did a search on like Disney Halloween movies in the 80s, and there's only like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Like you have Frankenweenie.
Is that
so
what?
It's about a dog that's Frankenstein.
Oh, the ghost dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get to the 90s, and you have like Hocus Pocus and stuff like that. So really, you're right. Not until like the 2000s did we get like some actual like creativity flowing.
And I think too, I guess movies now that are being listed, as far as I know, I could be very wrong once again because I do not watch horror movies.
Right.
But I feel like horror movies have turned into more of a suspense where they're kind of playing on the emotional side of things.
Yeah.
Instead of just like blatant killing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of the gore. I can't stand the gore.
This is the problem with media. Like, so I used to love like movies and stuff like that. It has totally like left. It's really weird. Like God took it away. Like, and I prayed about it, but at the same time, like, I'll give him the credit for it because, and I look back at it and I think, man, I used to love film and I used to love that, but film has progressed into this thing where it is too real. Like it manipulates your mind to a point to where you can't. Now I'm not saying I don't watch movies because there's definitely like times where like we'll go to a movie or whatever the case is or stuff comes out. Like I can still appreciate that, but like there are things that would be X-rated in my 90s, thing that now is like
it's like PG.
Yeah, and in the horror side of things, it's like dark, twisted stuff where I go, do you really? Okay, I'll give you a great example of this. So I met a person the other day, and they told me their kid's name, and their kid's name was based off of a show that no kid should ever watch. Oh. And I was sitting next to a friend of mine, and I looked at him, and I was like, how are you going to explain that to him?
Yeah.
Like, when that kid gets this age, how are you going to look at that person and say, what did you name me after? I named you after Freddy Krueger. What? Like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, and that's my fear is like, so we have a generation of people who are participating in like watching this stuff. They get so wrapped up in it that they put it in the context of their everyday life, and you can't take that back.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's real scary.
That's scary. As Miles has been saying, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just never been. I know my sister-in-law, she loves Halloween, but I don't think that she gets into like the creepy, super creepy things. Like I don't think that she enjoys the gore and stuff like that. I mean, maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But like, so I know that there are people who love Halloween. it's just not. I enjoy the fun of it.
So maybe what we're saying is there's 3 veins to it, right?
Yeah.
Like you have like this really creative, fun side of Halloween that has nothing to do with darkness. We have costume nights, for example, at churches. We do trunk or treats. Like those things are super fun. We're dressing up like things that aren't evil. Then you have kind of on the other side of the pendulum would be like these really dark horror, approaches to Halloween. And then you have probably somewhere in the middle.
But what would be the middle?
I would say the middle would be like people who like kind of toe the line where it's like, we want like a little bit of blood, but not a ton of blood. Or like, we're going to have a graveyard, but the graveyard's not going to be spooky. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, we're not a decorator.
For Halloween?
Thing we do for Halloween is jack-o'-lanterns, which I'm pretty sure that needs to happen because we haven't. Oh, it's the end of October.
We do fall decor.
Yeah. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything this year. I kind of gave up on my front porch after putting so much work into it and like turning it.
We drove by your house the other day. My youngest looks at me and she goes, I think it's a shame that all that stuff has to go away.
Yeah, it does. It has to go. It's going. It's going to be. It'll come back up. But like, I don't know. Our porch is a very touchy subject for me because it's like a wind tunnel. So like we can't set anything up
because it'll just move.
It'll just knock it all down.
Yeah.
I haven't decorated.
You're like drilling pumpkins to like the
concrete.
Yeah.
So we normally just decorate for fall. Even when I had the restaurant, there were a couple of things that I did. Like I remember getting a crow. I had a couple of skulls maybe, but like, and then like some creepy trees. But like that was it. Like that. I'm not.
It's more harvest. Like where we live, it's more Halloween. I would not say, because it's really funny because people look at me and they'd be like, I can't believe you celebrate Halloween. I'm like, it's not Halloween. It's fall. It's harvest. It's Thanksgiving. It's like the fields are going down and we have like corn stalks. And Bethany does a really good job decorating, actually. She's got pumpkins everywhere and like stuff like that. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're not putting dead guys hanging up outside of our house. That's not happening.
The amount of money that people can spend on the decorations too is.
And where are you putting it? Like, like that's my thing. Like you go into your creepy closet and you're like, oh, that's my skeleton I put outside every year.
Yeah, like those like gigantic.
Get out of here! Like that video I sent you.
Yeah,
people have like 8-foot tall skeletons.
Putting all these things.
Don't worry, it disassembles. I don't want it to disassemble. I want it to go away. People do anything to make money.
Does that mean that you're like proficient in anatomy? Like,
yeah, the person's outside like putting the skeleton together.
The femur's connected to the.
This is definitely not a dinosaur bone. What other you got other greases?
It's definitely still around the movies. Like I truly
you can't get over that.
I truly have a problem with it because on the other side of like the gore movies, is there are people who write these movies.
Oh yeah, and for some reason. We're okay with it.
And we're fine with it. And I'm like, to the people, to the 2 college kids who wrote the Saw movies.
Right.
What?
Yeah, and we look at that and we're like, wow, that's
and
art.
we like celebrate it. And I'm like, guys, this was in their psyche. Like, hey, they actively made
like you wrote that.
Scenes.
You wrote that. If I would have wrote that in the 90s, I'd been in the principal's office. We'd been expelled.
I know. And I'm like, how are you guys okay with that?
That's true.
Like I was forced to watch one. And by forced, I mean, I had to go to the movie theater and then I sat with my thumbs in my ears and the rest of my
which is not a way to watch a movie.
But I paid for me to just sit in a ball covering my ears and my eyes the whole time.
Horrible.
For like the hour and a half. My entire soccer team was like, Kim, you can't be the only one who doesn't go. And I was like, but
yes, I can. Yes, I can. 100%.
And then they like literally all grabbed like all of me and was like, "You're coming with us." And I was like, horrible. "I don't want to go." And then I think I watched maybe like a half. No, like the intro to one of them. But like knowing what was happening in the one movie, and there's like 7 of them.
Yeah, it is. It's so true.
It is very bothersome.
It's like, hey, we're not. It's kind of like when you see like Cars 5. You're like, I think the first 3 were okay.
You got the message.
Yeah, we're getting
out
it.
there.
Like Rusty's is a real thing, and you want us to participate. Well, we don't need that anymore.
But yeah, and people are still like, oh yeah, those are great movies. And I'm like, no, they're not.
Lightning
no.
McQueen is my favorite.
Stay away from me, Stranger Danger. Like, yikes.
Stranger.
No, thank you. So yeah, it's just my biggest thing is like the evil.
Yeah.
Celebration of evil and the gore.
Do you remember like when you had regular cable and like it was really funny because you knew the seasons because based off of like TBS.
Yeah.
Like because TBS would be like, we're playing this. But what was really fun about TBS was it was there was like a filter on it. So you would watch a movie and you'd be like, I love that movie. And then you saw like the actual movie and you're like, what happened?
Yes.
That happened with the Halloween stuff so many times because I'd be like, Mom, I saw that on TV. And she's like, oh, that's okay. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this was not the one that's on TV.
This isn't the one. This
is not it.
This wasn't in there.
There's so many times where I'll look at my girls and I'll be like we showed them Big once, but Big.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Nope.
I know there's one thing that probably was removed.
In the 90s version of PG movies, they're like PG-13 to R. Like they did. Top Gun is rated PG.
I don't know if I've ever seen Top Gun.
Anyways, regardless of that, it's like those things where you're like, we're turning it off. Like I was wrong. And like TBS lied to me.
What was it? They used to do. They still do, I think. Like the so many days. Was it 31 days of Halloween?
Yeah. And then Christmas, you had Thanksgiving movies, and then Thanksgiving, you had Thanksgiving movies, and Christmas, you had Christmas movies. Like, so you always knew like what was going on, and then they would have commercials for it, like celebrate with us this, and this, and this.
So I was just thinking about Harry Potter because I was like, was Harry Potter part of the Halloween thing? No, it's part of Christmas. Why is it part of Christmas? It's always part of the Christmas countdown. Yeah, the 25 days till Christmas. Anyways, we're moving on to a different season. Well, that's another conversation we're having in a couple more weeks. Anyways, do you have any graces?
Let's see. So first of all, I was going to ask you, what do you think is the top costume in 2023 that people picked?
In 2023?
Yeah, so this would be last year. What was the top costume for Halloween in 2023?
I'm trying to think of like
Darth Vader breath.
I'm trying to think of like what was popular because I know what's popular this year. Last year, what would have been popular?
Give me anything. Come on.
Last year, I feel like I was out of the loop.
You ready for this?
Go.
I'll give it top 2. Barbie.
Yeah, because the Barbie movie.
Because the Barbie movie came out, right? And a princess. It's number 2.
Disney princess?
Just any princess.
Oh.
I think every little girl wants to be a princess. And then Spider-Man.
Oh, both of my boys were Spider-Man.
So they got you. And then the 4th one was a witch. I thought that was interesting.
Huh.
Like what the most popular costumes
But
are.
Hocus Pocus came out last year too. The
the new one. Came
out last year. So that would totally make sense.
Other honorable mentions: clowns, pirates, rabbits, bunnies, ninja, cowboy, dinosaur, Batman.
Oh, the inflatable dinosaur. I always think is absolutely hilarious.
It is, but it's so funny.
So here's I can talk about some greases when it comes to costumes because there's now like these cutesy costumes, like you said, bunny and deer or something like that.
Yeah.
And those are like the bare minimum costume, and I'm not a bare minimum person.
You want to be like
use
all out there, the whole 9 yards.
And so like I always see, and I'm not like knocking it. Like if you
funny.
or your kid is going to be a bunny with like the cute little nose and like the 3 dashes on their cheeks with whiskers, like it's cute, cool. But like, come on. You can be more creative.
You can do better.
You can do better. And so, like, I am a full send kind of person.
Yeah.
Going all out.
Would you be okay with somebody like buying like a full-fledged costume? Like you're good with that? Even though they spent like a ton on it? Or do you want it to be, are you a purist where you're like, you should have used your bed sheet?
Yeah, use your bed sheet. Like, make it. I mean, like, there are sometimes, like, I would totally buy the,
inflatable dinosaur or whatever.
No, I would totally buy like the pink bunny, full.
Oh
you know what I'm talking about?
From A Christmas
like,
Story.
Christmas Story. Yeah, I'd totally buy that. That'd be fun. But Also, I can't justify spending that much money for one day.
Okay, so last night we were having a conversation about a certain article of clothing. We will not talk about that. But we were talking about a certain article of clothing, and I sent you a couple links, and I was like, hey, because it was kind of Halloween-ish, right? Like if you would wear this or whatnot. What would be the price tag of you would buy something to wear as a gag?
Oh, I wouldn't have.
No? How much? How much would it have taken? Like, what's your threshold is what I'm saying. Like, so if you look at something, you're like, man, I'll totally do that. $20?
Maybe $20.
Oh,
yeah, man. Like it's low because it's a one-time thing. And then it just sits in my closet and
never
like
wear it again.
Yeah, and so like probably $20. But like we were getting the boys' costumes this year. And they have, for some reason, Toy Story is like a big costume.
It is. I was just going to say it's like number 12 or something like that.
Why? Like
Buzz Lightyear is huge.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear, because Buzz came out, like Lightyear came out. But I don't understand the Toy Story thing. Anyways, there was a Pizza Planet jacket. Now, I have a Pizza Planet shirt. And this was like a nice bomber jacket. Like the inside had like the pizzas and the rockets, and it had the logo on. Like it definitely looked like a pizza delivery jacket. Guess how much that stupid jacket was?
You want me to tell you? Because I just looked it up.
What does it say online?
On eBay?
Yeah, no,
$100.
Oh no, it's cheaper than that. But $65.
That's, I mean, for a bomber jacket, that's kind of like that range though.
But not
a Pizza Planet one.
Not the Halloween store's version of it. Like if I'm paying $65 for a jacket, it's got to be a little bit nicer than.
Was it the white one or red one?
It was red.
The white ones are really slick.
It was red, and then a white liner with pizzas and rockets on it. It was cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this because I have the Pizza Planet shirt. But then I was like, no.
$20.
I'm not doing that.
That's
too much. That's too much.
That's like
I ain't got that kind of money.
The car stuff, like the Rusty stuff. It's like really, really expensive.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
crazy.
not.
Okay, Grace's. Let's see, because
Three Musketeers candy is the top candy of all.
We could do a whole podcast on candy.
We really could.
Yeah.
Candy.
Top, Grace's of Halloween. My whole neighborhood is out. It's the last hurrah before everybody goes inside and we don't talk to each other for 5 months.
It is. Yes. That's turned into a very social.
I love it. Like when the weather is nice and everybody's walking around, everybody's personal.
Yeah.
You can see people. You're like, oh, you look so cute, or whatever the case is. My neighbors have their garage doors open. They're sitting in their garages. Yeah. We're having a good time.
That's
and then
so fun.
It gets cold. They go inside. I don't see them again for 6 months.
They all of a sudden have a really long beard. It's super strange.
It is 100% my neighborhood. It is so funny. My neighborhood, like the summer hits and everybody's like best friends.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden after Halloween, it's like, see ya. Like we're going inside. We're going to the basement. We'll talk to you.
It is because that first snow and everybody's like, well, it's time to hunt now.
I guess we're done.
So in one of the cities that I used to live in, there was kind of close to the church that we had went to. There was this neighborhood that we would, I don't remember who we took because I didn't have my kids at that point, but I had said I would always take my kids there. So there was a neighborhood of houses. And we called them, my mom and I always called them the Disney houses because they were like.
Look, stereotypical?
Yes, but no. Because like they were all like the same kind of hue of color, but like total different colors. So there'd be like a yellow house and then like a salmon house and then like a teal house and then there'd be like a navy house.
But still the same like.
Within the same like tone.
Architectural. Yeah.
But then like these big porches and just really cool houses. We did tour one because it was for sale and I was like, I'm really curious. It was
gotta know.
$650,000.
Holy cow.
They are stupid expensive houses, but gorgeous. And I found out that those specific builders were only building for like so many years and then they were done, but they were handcrafting these houses.
Okay.
And so like the is it the banister, the ballast at the end of the stairs, like if you have stairs at the end of it, they're a ballast or something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
They like they made it. Everything was like handcrafted.
Yeah.
So like of course it's $650,000.
Yeah.
But just immaculate houses. The yards were everything was perfect.
Yeah.
And we always said this is like if you were to go onto a like street that Disney made for a movie.
Like a backlot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then this is what it would look like. And we drove through one Halloween and it was like everybody was out. And I was like, oh, this is my dream.
Yeah.
Like dads were like
walking their kids
with the, the wagon,
the pumpkin
Some of them might have
basket,
had a special drink in their hand, but like they were handing out like big candy bars. The moms were like, I was like, this is what everybody I think dreams of. It's just like this super social, everybody's out and like kids are running. Like you don't have to watch it. It was like peeking into like the 1950s or something.
We live in that neighborhood. That is our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is where everybody comes to trick or treat, and it's like it's just like people come and park to walk our neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what Josh did last year.
It's cool. Like like we're good with it, but like I said, it's that last hurrah where it's like.
Does that give you pressure? That would stress me out a little bit because I
we're walking.
Have the perfect candy.
No, because we're walking. Like here's what I've learned. Just getting older, like. I think there's a stage in life where you feel like you have to do things like so extravagantly, and then after a while you get to the point where you're like, I'm tired. That, and you just, I think if you just participate, somebody told me a long time ago, they said, be in the picture, but don't be in the front of the picture. That's one of the best advice I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And they're like, people should remember that you were present, but not so much that you took center stage. And he's like, don't get me wrong. There's going to be times in your life where you're going to be front and center, and that photograph is meant for you to be front and center. But in like places like giving out candy or whatever the case is, like
just hand out the candy.
Just hand out candy, man. Mm-hmm. Like you don't have to hand a kid a full size candy bar.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Three Musketeers.
Well, and what's really funny is now, like, as an adult, I could not tell you, and it's the same with Christmas, I could not tell you who handed out full-size candy bars, but I could tell you who handed out candy. Like, and who we went to.
Yeah.
And then, same with Christmas. Like, I can't tell you all the Christmas gifts I've ever gotten, but I'll tell you who gave me Christmas gifts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So,
I've only handed out candy maybe twice because of the location of where I live. Even when I lived in Kansas, I'm trying to think of, I was a high schooler at that point and I worked at Blockbuster. So that was always a really busy night because everybody was getting their horror movies. And so I normally ended up working on Halloween night. So like it's just never been something that I celebrate, but I do remember the 2 years that I handed out candy, I was like on cloud nine. I was like having the best time of my life.
It's
just
so
seeing
fun.
The costumes and like, oh, like the little babies.
Yeah.
Now, here's my other, I gotta go into Grease. If your baby is 1 month old, don't go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
That candy ain't for that baby.
It's
and
for,
you know it. You know it. You're listening to this right now, and if you're feeling convicted, it's because you were about to take your baby out and get yourself some candy. Just go buy the candy.
That's so funny.
Stop taking them out. I love seeing the babies.
Or go to like the people that you, or whatever the case is, like you're walking around like family. Or whatever. Yeah.
But like,
somebody told me the other day, they said, don't get down on teenagers that come trick-or-treating because they're trying to stay in their childhood.
They're being a kid. Yeah.
And I was like, that is a really good perspective.
Yeah.
There's sometimes with the big kids where I'm like, you should not be out here. And now that's changed. I'm like, hey man, whatever. Like, cool.
You're not on a screen.
You're not hurting anybody. Like, absolutely, whatever. And if anybody wants candy, it's probably you.
When do you think the age is for people to stop trick-or-treating?
Over junior high. Easy. High school,
So
you should start passing it out. Yep.
15.
Like, I think and the only reason I say that is because you and I know, being in children's ministry, what the gap is. So like when we get in high school, like those students want to start to participate.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of consume. So I think once you're done with junior high, like my daughter who's in 8th grade, she's trick-or-treating this year.
Is
and
she?
I told her go for it. I said, absolutely. She's going to go around the block and come back and pass out candy. I already know she will.
That sounds so like her too.
It is what it is.
Like I did what I did and now I'm done.
Yeah. Because she's going to hit like 4 houses and feel awkward. She's totally done.
Is she going by herself?
She's going to go with a group of friends.
Oh, okay. So that'll be fun.
They're going to do a block. You watch. I just know it in the back of my. They'll go around and be like,
funny.
"Oh, we're big." Yeah,
that's funny. Did you go trick or treating as a kid though?
100%.
You went as a crayon.
I was everything. You name it. Yeah. But so my dad, being a pastor, like it was so much like we went to parishioners' houses. So it was easy. Like they wanted us to come over and trick or treat or whatever the case is. So
I don't know. Do people still go to like people's houses if they don't know them?
Oh yeah.
Do they?
My neighborhood 101.
Really?
Yeah.
I've just never gone out. Like
now people actually like sit like out. So if it's like somewhat nice out, it's like you don't even have to like go and knock on the door.
Do we have the weather for Halloween yet?
I have no idea.
Halloween.
I think you're a little far out.
I don't know. We're going to
You're a little far out.
No, right now it is a 60% chance of rain.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like the rest of the entire week, there's one chance of rain tomorrow, and then all of a sudden Halloween, it's like it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
Every time, and it's gonna be like 79 degrees on Wednesday before. I'm telling you, Halloween in this entire state is trash.
It is.
It is. It turns into the worst weather. It's gonna be 80 degrees on October 30th here.
Yep. So that means it's going to be really, really cold winter or really warm.
Garbage.
There's no extreme.
That's pure garbage. I'm mad, and this is my first time going out with my kids.
Okay, so all that said, here's how I land this plane and bring you back to planet Earth. My all-time favorite part of Halloween, ready for this, is when it's over, it's time to celebrate Christmas. Like, that is where I'm living at. All that stupid Halloween decoration goes down.
It does go
and
down.
Christmas lights come up, and Thanksgiving, and we talk about, like, turkey and stuffing and all of those fixings.
It's time to hunker down.
Take your little demonic forces and go put them where they belong and bring out the pumpkin pie because it's time to party. That's where I'm living at.
Oh, my Lanta.
So my all-time favorite grace of Halloween is that when it's over, we get to celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas. Oh, it's done. I will try as hard as I can not to. But when my neighbors take down their Halloween decor, I will try as hard as I can not to go outside and clap for them. Like, yay!
Do they add to it every year?
They're new, so I'm trying to love on them. We're like, you probably think you're hearing this and be like, man, he doesn't like his neighbors. No, we're cordial. Like, we're still getting to know each other. We're feeling each other out. But when you go putting out a casket in your front yard,
do they know that you're a pastor?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's like, have you made Christ known there?
100%. I invite them to everything. Yeah. They're gonna hear this podcast and be like, "We gotta talk about the Halloween episode."
You're like, listen, I was trying to find a way. This is it.
Well, they would. You know what's really funny is they probably we would just agree to disagree. Like it wouldn't be like this point of contention where I look at them and be like, "I hate you." I don't hate you. Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you're putting your casket in your front yard, I'm putting out my nativity set. That's what's going on. Like, so you got that. Like, I got Jesus. You
got the demonic baby, and I got the Jesus baby, and so
your baby's dead, mine's alive. So let's just talk about it. Like, oh man, I can't wait. All right,
way to round that out.
Kim, what do you want to hear about? Anything?
What are your favorite costumes?
Ooh,
if you have pictures, please let us know.
Yeah.
Send us
old school
pictures of you. But then I want to say, like, I do enjoy the costumes, so long as they are like goofy and silly and lighthearted. Like, share those pictures.
Yep.
There will be a Facebook post where you can just add some pictures.
Yeah.
I love seeing the costumes. I just want to see, especially if it's like a creative. If you made the costume, then I want to see them.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Halloween candy? What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I don't eat a lot of candy. So
I know you don't, but like, if you were gonna like dive in to a bowl of candy,
I almost said homemade brownies.
I mean, if there was a bowl,
I went to Carol's house and she's passing out homemade brownies.
You would go to the house with apples.
No. Favorite candy, Reese's peanut butter cups would probably be up there.
People get disturbed how I eat them because I push out the middle first,
and
brother, I eat the peanut butter first and then I finish with the chocolate.
Oh, that's weird.
The way that I eat Three Musketeers is I eat all of the chocolate first,
then the nougat,
and then I eat the nougat.
Oh man,
there was somebody who was just watching me do it, and they're like,
Snickers bars would probably be up there. I'm trying to think. M&Ms.
Those are your top three?
Yeah, I eat a lot. Actually, so in our house, Bethany has candy jars.
Yeah.
And she's always had them that way. And people come to our house and they're like, how do you not eat all the candy? And I'm like, I think it's just because they've been out for so long and my girls don't eat it.
They turn into permanent decorations.
Well, we just kind of like grab like a couple. But when friends come over, people come over, we realize like it depletes fast.
Yes.
Because people aren't used to it.
Them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have, I was just thinking what was in there. We always have M&Ms. And what Bethany does is she takes Halloween candy from the year and just like puts it in there like slowly. So that's how it depletes. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, so when like people come over, friends come over, whatever the case is, and they grab candy, like we don't care because it's just Halloween candy. So
I also love candy corn. I know that is so controversial. Oh, I love it, especially with peanuts.
Absolute garbage.
I love it so much. I love candy corn.
All right, so we'll drop a post. You guys let us know.
Yes.
Put it in the comment section.
Let me see the cute guys.
100%. Rate, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. Yeah, we want to hear from you. So
tell your friends about us.
Yeah, 100%. Why you got to be Bolgart and Grease and Grace?
I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Don't Bolgart Grease and Grace. Give it away.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No.
I was like, I'm sorry, Jordan.
People do that. They like put it. They're like, it's mine. No,
share it.
Don't put Grease and Grace in a box.
Tell your friends.
Explode it. So let them know. You can reach out to us on greaseandgracepod.com or you can email us at greaseandgracepod@gmail.com. Regardless, thanks for tuning in. Until next Monday, we'll talk to you later.
Happy Halloween!
Here
Bye!
comes Halloween.